Hey guys, Pixel here and welcome back to another Destiny video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm thinking of starting this series of sort of just me doing some live commentary and talking about what I think about different issues in Destiny. In this episode we are going to be talking about weapons, and mainly primary weapons, and sort of like the current stage of them. Not exactly weapon balancing. You'll see what I mean when I get into it. So I just want to start off by saying that Destiny has a weird sort of power creep right now. With all the sort of buffs and nerfs and little tweaks that they're doing, there's a select 5 or 6 weapons that are rising to the top of everything else. And that's definitely a problem. I would say those weapons are probably Last Word, Mida, Doctrine of Passing, Suros PDX or Hawksaw, one of those sort of pulse rifle archetypes, and Thorn. And having these select 5 weapons at the top, like even I'm using them, I'm using the Last Word in this match, it really doesn't provide for much decision in the game, and that's really what you need, because this is sort of a rhetorical question. How many times have you thought through your special and heavy weapon, all your armor pieces and the perks, you know, what subclass you're using, and really tried to consider which gun you should use, and, you know, looked at the map, the different engagements you've had on that map, and if you said, well, if you are able to answer that and say a lot, then that's great. I'm glad, because for most players it isn't, and that's not a bad thing. That's like, it's not like you're a bad player if you don't use other guns. That's not at all what I'm saying. It's just that there should be more sort of decision. There should be more consideration, I guess, in deciding what primary to use. And it's been showing a lot of overuse of the same weapons, and that's really annoying. Yeah, I just find that super annoying to have, like, you're almost constantly playing against the same types of guns, and over a long-term period of time, you know, eventually this will be a problem. Like, everyone will get so used to using and fighting against the same guns that there's not gonna be really any development of skill, or development of any skill, that's the word I was trying to use, in your weapons, because if you only use the Last Word and you only fight against Midas, then you're gonna develop a specific strategy that you're almost always going to use, because that's what you've been used to for so long. So Destiny really should get on changing this, and of course we don't know anything. The Bungie, this week at Bungie came out today. Today is Thursday, the day I'm recording this, and of course we don't know anything yet about the spring update or the DLC coming later this year, I think, or Destiny 2 even. There's a lot of stuff we still don't know, so they could be working on fixing this. Right? Was he gonna get my res? I don't know, probably. So there's a lot of things we don't know about, so they could be in the midst of fixing this right now, and hopefully with the spring update, with all these new guns coming out and all this new gear, hopefully there will be some more of this consideration and choice to the game, instead of feeling like you have to use these guns, because that's also another thing. Is it's almost like a punishment if you don't use these guns, because you'll have, unless you're a very highly skilled or highly experienced player, you'll have a very tough time fighting against these super good, in a sense, overpowered guns. And so then if you're having a hard time fighting against them, the way to fight against them is to use them, the meta of guns, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So it all sort of comes together and makes it so that it all sort of like stacks up on each other, I guess. And I just really feel like that should be changed. You know, I would love to be able to think through a bunch of different weapons, because there are hundreds of weapons in Destiny. And like the video that King Thalion, oh, did not know he had rockets. Okay then, that King Thalion recently made about how rare weapon or rare quality weapons and gear should be more valuable. That can also tie into this, because imagine if you had to use rare weapons for a much longer time, then that's even more weapons to have to consider, and that'll add so much more choice to the game. Like if exotics and legendaries were a lot harder to get, then you're gonna be sticking to these rares. And currently, of course, there's no meta for rare weapons. There probably will eventually be one, but with all the how did I die there? Oh my gosh. With the huge bunch of rare weapons that we have, that probably won't be a problem. For the most part, for a long time, everyone's gonna still be figuring out which guns they should use, and hopefully there's more thought put into those if in a different update that there is consideration and it's not just having to rush to the same weapons every time. So that's the main point that I just wanted to touch upon, and because I did not think about my time at all, we still have some time, so I'll just cover the next topic also in this video, which is damage over time. Now, damage over time is just the name of it. It's just sends chills, you know. It's in Destiny, with this like low health, it is really a huge pain to play against. And the problem in my sight is that there's no reason not to use it. Like, if you were to say, oh, I'm not going to use damage over time because it's blah blah blah. See, nobody says that, because there's no sacrifice to not using it. Take firebolts, for instance. There's a good amount of damage that does at the start, and then so many perks and the burn damage combined does more than any other grenade, and that's kind of insane. It's like if, oh crap, did not know he was chilling there. If I were to redesign firebolts, it would go something like this. So you'd have the firebolt, you know, you'd throw it out, and you know when it puts out its original ring of fire to like sort of detect the enemies, I guess, that would take a longer time to do that. Oh, got that guy, that's cool. It would take a longer time to put out that ring, even if it was just offset by a second or two. That would definitely make a difference. So that's just one of the sacrifices that you have to make for using damage over time. And then the damage over time should be used as a strategy instead of like a tank, sort of. Instead of just trying to put out maximum damage, there should be more strategic decision to it. Like, you should be using damage over time so that you can prime a fight against somebody and keep their shields down, because they can't regenerate while they're still taking damage. So if it just did the tiniest bit of damage, but they wouldn't regenerate. So, and that can easily become overpowered. You'd have to like really make sure that it does minimal damage, or else, yeah, it will become overpowered and used way too often. So yeah, what I was gonna say is really just having that nerfed, I guess you could say, or put into a more strategic use position. That would make it a lot better, in my opinion, instead of people just trying to spam it, you know, because like I said, there's no reason not to use it, which is the bad part about it. Like, take incendiary nades, for example. That just primes them, does a little bit of damage. It doesn't do, like, you know, you really have to aim it to actually kill them, but the burn can be super slow. And now I do realize that the the burn on firebolts and arc bolts can be negated when using shade step, but of course not everyone's using shade step, so it does not really balance it out, not even close. So take something like, yeah, incendiary grenades. If you make it more like that burn damage, then I feel like that definitely would be a lot far superior to what it is currently. And also, another thing is that damage over time in PvE and PvP needs to be adjusted. In PvP, it needs to do way less damage over time. Like, they did reduce it from 7 to around 5 or 3 on Thorn. It should do more damage in PvE, but less damage in PvP. I'm thinking more like 2 damage a tick, maybe even 1. Or maybe some figure that rounds up, you know, that is just a decimal. But just so that, oh, no, I'm dead. Dang it. Just so that you really, like, so that you choose to use it because you know what you're doing, not because you know that it's overpowered and you know that you're gonna get the most kills with it. And once again, like with the other topic, I'm not saying that it's bad to use damage over time, because I'll keep reiterating this. There's no reason to not use it. And so pretty much what I was trying to get at is that these things should be balanced. There should be more choice and decision, and that does involve damage over time. More strategic play instead of everybody having easy access to these overpowered things and just using them not how they should be used in. So that is the video for today. I hope you guys did enjoy. I might put this into a series. I'm not too sure because it kind of covered whatever I thought I was going to talk about. But yeah, once again, I hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a rating, comment, like, share, subscribe, whatever, down below. I will see you all in the next one. Have an amazing day, and bye-bye.